right. Big Mike on the mic.
All right, so we got Rodgers Cup 2018 here. Here's the climb over Live Oak. These are the A group A-lister guys. I had quite a day. I had some issues. I'm going to go over what my issues were, but I was at the very end of these A-lister climbers, me and another big guy named Big Johnny. So there we are. I'm in slow-mo. There I am. Johnny's right behind me. You can see my white beard. Barely I go past the frame. But yeah, I actually made it over the climb. So with the A-lister group and was feeling pretty good. Here's the finish. I just ripped these straight off of YouTube just to help with the story. Great job, young man there, Amma. He killed it. I think we got Mr. Janik in second, and my guy Paul, I believe, got seventh. So I usually go through my pre-morning routine with the coffee, the bulletproof coffee. There's the butter getting melted. With the mocha maker, I was all psyched to go out and ride really good this morning. Well, Sunday morning on Rodgers Cup. Got to get my sugar. 2 hefty tablespoons. That's a spoon on a table, so it's a tablespoon. 2 hefty tablespoonfuls of sugar and a nice slow pour to get that frothy, buttery milk with a little bit of coffee mate and sugar in there. So I'm all ready to meet my boys to ride out for Rodgers Cup 2018.
So quick pre-Rodgers Cup story time. So I get up nice and early, been working on my bike. She's all nice and pretty. I got the new 5000s on there, running my super secret latex tubes, and put a new power meter battery in. Met my buddies, Crazy Mikey and Mr. Pink Socks Jorge early in the morning. And as we're riding out, I look down and notice I've got no power. And I look down at my pedal and I'm missing my battery and the little cap that holds it in place. So I've been kind of training for this ride, not super hard training, but you know, I want to do well on this ride, and I wanted to do some PRs and see where my power is. So I went and actually looked for the battery. I turned around and went and looked for it because I was pretty sure what stretch of road I lost it on. Couldn't find it. That put me about halfway back home again, so I just decided to ride home and adapt, right? So I've got a new battery in there, and I've got it wrapped in electrical tape. Also, I can read my power. So, you know, I guess that's you gotta wonder why I'm doing what I'm doing. But you know, that's I guess that's the nature of the beast, right? Competition. I suppose it's competition. So that ought to hold it for the ride, and then I'll look for a replacement cap on the stages there. So I obviously just did not reseat that battery in there right and put the cap back on right. Such is life. All right, see how this works. Later.
Back to the start.
What's up, Crazy Mikey?
Hey, let's do this. All right.
All right, so to the commentary here. So this is as close as I got to the front here. We're going up Rancho Santa Margarita, and if you couldn't tell what happened there, my whole ride was a bit off, so I'll get to more of that later. So what I did is I lost my power meter cover and battery in the morning during the ride out to the beginning of where Como usually starts. Lost it, decided it was worth the effort to go back and slap a new battery in there and tape it up with some electrical tape. So that's what I did. I did want to read my power meter data, so that was important to me. I had somewhat been targeting this day to see if I had made any gains here with my overall power, and of course my power meter data was going to tell me that. So here we are getting ready to turn off of Rancho Santa Margarita and get into Live Oak properly and go down through the corkscrew and then on the flat to O'Neill and then up the climb. So like I said, I was feeling pretty good. I was a little, towards the front there going up Rancho, hoping to get maybe through a light That's really the only chance a big guy like me has, is to somehow squeak through a light. But alas, that was not to happen. So here we are. You can see kind of some of the nervous energy in the group, getting ready to go. It's kind of how I feel there with the ticking of the legs. The legs just want to go when you're sitting still there at a light with a bunch of fast guys. I get it. I'm not really sure who that guy is in the green, but yep, I'm always feeling like that on a race day, not really a race, but it's a race. Come on, it's a race, right? So off we go, tromping, as I often say. And, you know, since so again, like I said, I had lost my battery to my Stages power meter, rode home, fixed it, rode to the start, got to the start, and everything was going good. I had my cycle computer going good and everything else. Well, not only did I lose my battery and battery cover to my Stages that day, but later on in the race here, I actually lost my entire Garmin 1000. Lost it on the descent of Live Oak, and I've got some video of it. You can't clearly see where I lost my Garmin, but I'll be able to point out to you roughly where I did and how that went down. And since I lost my Garmin, I have no data to put, no data overlay to actually put on this ride. So I was not able to capture my data. And again, if you ride seriously, like, or semi-seriously, I guess it's serious, and you've got your Garmin or your Wahoo or whatever it is that you're using, you've got your power meter data and your heart rate data, and you look at that data, that you kind of rely on looking on that data to see where your fitness is. And I do exactly that. So without that data, I'm a little frustrated that I don't have that data there, because it doesn't record to Strava, so I can't check out what my power was, nor can I check out what my times were on some of these key climbs. Although I did a little bit of innovation here, and using just this raw video footage, I've got a good estimate of what I went up the Live Oak climb at. And my previous best for going up the Live Oak climb was exactly 8 minutes. I've been wanting to break 8 minutes for about a year. And I've been close a couple times, 8:06, 8:10, 8:15 going up Live Oak. And Rodgers Cup would have been an ideal day to do exactly that. So I'm a little out of position here on the ride, just if you're paying any attention to the ride itself, as we're coming to the corkscrew here. And I wasn't in the position I wanted to be on the corkscrew. There are a lot of guys in front of me, and there's really not much you can do about it unless you want to be crazy and go into the oncoming traffic lane, which I would never recommend someone to do in conditions like this, especially going down switchbacks like this, corkscrew type switchbacks, and you just cannot see. But again, you're here I am telling you not to do it, and I'm somewhat forced out. But when you got a big crowd like this, you gotta you've got to be prudent and look ahead of yourself and ride somewhat defensively and safely. So not really worth the risk to try and go by people or blow by people here on the downhill, even though I am very good on the downhills, being close to 100 kg. But you know what? Again, I'm sitting in, I'm feeling good, and maybe I can make up some time here on this flat portion, the way I'm thinking to myself, and just stick with the A-list Lilliputian climbers as they go up Live Oak proper. So that was my thinking. But again, frustrating that I don't actually have the power data. In fact, I wasn't even sure I was going to do this video, but what the heck? I've gotten enough people asking me about where's the Rodgers Cup video that I decided to make one, and here it is on Thursday evening, making this video. So big group going into getting close here to O'Neill. And reason why I'm taking so long to do this is, again, just to kind of tell you how my morning went. And I will speed the action up here as we actually go up the climb of Live Oak. But what you can do is, as you're watching this video, if you happen to see yourself, you can actually, I will point out to you where the Live Oak KOM segment starts. We're getting real close to it here. It's just past the entrance to O'Neill Park. And then obviously you can see where the top of the climb is. And if you want to look, roughly speaking, you can just look at the timestamp. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, you can just look at the timestamp on the video, and that'll give you a pretty darn accurate, it'll give you a pretty gosh darn accurate time reading. So we're getting close here to where the KOM, like I say, segment starts. We're making this kind of sweeping right-hand corner going past the entrance to O'Neill. You can see where the guys on the front are. So you go past this this big tree right here, and about 20, 30 feet, maybe 20 yards past the tree right about there is where the segment for going up Live Oak actually starts. So I'm going to speed up the action here, and and I'll just keep commentating until my video runs out. All right, so I'm going to speed the action. Like I said, I'm going to speed the action up here, but I cut a little bit of video out here. So we're in the climb proper. There's Nick Bishop going by, and I wanted to show him going by. He was not off the back, but behind me there, at least for a part of Live Oak. And I believe Nick had the fastest time on Rodgers Cup going up the Live Oak climb. And you can go look in Strava and see what his time actually was. I want to say it was under 7:20. I can't remember, 7:15, 7:16, something like that. So pretty darn fast. I think the KOM is under 7:10. There wasn't a KOM today, but the group was pretty fast. So you can see I've got the action sped up here. We ain't pedaling that fast, and I'm in it. I'm in the hunt. For a big guy, this is a good place to be when you're climbing like this. So I was all excited that I was there. So I've got, like I said, I've got the action sped up here, and boy, again, my strategy was to on the climb, if I didn't get in a break, which let's face it, the odds of that are slim to none, was to sit in, suck wheel, conserve as much energy as possible, and stay towards the front to the degree a guy like me actually can on a climb. Now, what I said earlier about being able to see what my time was up the climb by marking the counter since I cut the video out, just dawned on me since I cut some video out, and also sped up the action. That ain't gonna work, but I've done that already. I've done it multiple times to check my time because we all know how us A-type personalities like to be exacting on the stuff we indeed like working on. You could just see Big Johnny there off to my left. Now Johnny went up the climb in 7:36. He was on my wheel at the bottom of the climb, and I actually got to the top of the climb, as you're going to see here in a little bit, just in front of him. So I was definitely, Big Mike, big 100 kilogram Mike, was definitely under 740 on the climb. Except I got no data to prove it, but I do have Johnny's data. And Johnny's lighter than me by, I would say, a good 15 to 20 pounds. I haven't asked him what his weight is. He went up it in 736, I think at 388 watts. So if you do the math, and I'm a good 15, maybe 20 pounds heavier than him, that'd be about 10% more watts on that same segment, if you will. So yeah, you can see where the lead group is. And I started this video by showing you everybody going over the top of Live Oak here. And you know, if you can just kind of see where I happen to be. So again, I'm pretty darn happy with my performance going up Live Oak. Now, the good part of my day pretty much ends at the top of Live Oak, because on the descent, like I said, I lost my Garmin. So let's see what happens here on the descent. I usually don't There's Johnny right there. So I crested the top ahead of him, slowed down, catching my breath. God knows what my heart rate was, but I know I'll be able to use my size advantage here, those 100 kilograms, and all that potential energy I stored up to help me on the descent. Except, guys, if you're not passing on the left, move over. So, you know, stuff happens. We're going fast. Everybody's tired. But seriously, you know, on a day like today, or really any group ride, if you ain't passing people, move over to the left. Now look at this guy. I got to go around this guy. I'm not getting much space to go around him. I just clip one of the yellow reflectors, and that's where I lose my Garmin. Actually broke the mount on my Garmin. I was yelling out in front of me, on your left. So when you hear guys yelling at you on your left and you're not passing anybody, move over. Just move over a little bit to the right, especially if you're far over to the left there, because that means somebody's coming past you. All right, so that's, hey, that's racing. I'm not mad, stuff happens. It's all good. I did end up, I didn't realize I lost my Garmin there. Something hit me in my tooth. I thought it was a rock, and I actually almost thought I broke my tooth there for a second. There's the guy I passed who needed to move over to the right a little bit, but hey, like I said, such is life, man. So it's all good. Come say hi to me. And here you can see Johnny up there too. So I was feeling good here. We're going up the climb, and thought a rock hit me in my tooth. Thought I broke my tooth, but you know, I settled myself down and was determined to try and stay with the group here. Right about here, when I looked down, I noticed my Garmin was gone, and that, I don't want to say that shook me up, but I'm like, man, do I turn around and go back and get it? Because it's probably laying there in the road. You know, those things, they ain't cheap. Or do I keep riding hard? So it just, going through that thought process there, I was about to turn around and go back and get that Garmin. Now, I've been having issues with my Garmin too, so I'm thinking, well, why would I turn around and go back and get that thing? It's probably broken anyways, and I need to get a new Garmin anyhow, blah, 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 blah. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm losing contact. So, you know what? There's my Como Street Rodgers Cup story. So here we are at the finish. It was all good. At the end of the day, it was a good ride, all good. Here we are at the finish. Jorge did come out and ride. He rode well, considering he hasn't been riding that much. Mikey Z rode well. Lots of PRs. Lots of you know. Hey, it's always fun riding. It's always Rodgers Cup, man. What can I say? I've been doing it for years. What a great group. What a great ride. You know, the adventure, overcoming stuff, losing stuff. What are you gonna do? So, hey, like I always say, be safe out there. Enjoy the ride, and hey, we'll see you later. All right, so epilogue. Big Mike on the mic. Epilogue. So there was my Garmin after we went back and found it, after it had been run over multiple times. Actually had the battery there, the major part of the casing, yeah. And I actually tried to plug it in to see if I could download the information off of it, but no power. If anybody knows how to connect the power to what's left of this Garmin 1000, let me know, because, yeah, whatever. Yeah, you know, there you go. So I've got me a new Garmin 1030. Thank you, Two Hubs. Two Hubs will always make you a great deal. Again, I don't work for them, but good bunch of guys there. Rock and Road will make you a great deal too. But a lot of good bike shops around. So yeah, epilogue, there be the Garmin. All right, everybody, later.